laid back. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, Hannah, so thanks for giving me the opportunity to chat with you, and I'm just eager to continue to hear, kind of unpack the situation, and if you want to continue with the same topic. Or,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, I've just been having like a lot of nightmares about, well, I don't know if a lot, maybe like 2 this week, and then, I don't know, a couple in August. So it's not like every night. But I've been having nightmares about the last relationship I was in, which was abusive, and it's kind of, like every time I have a dream like that, it kind of derails my whole next couple days. It's just like, almost like, kind of like how I felt after, like, I would get.
Sure, it feels very real for you
Yeah,
when it comes back up, and
Mm-hmm.
almost need a few days to process and kind of recover from
Yeah.
all that emotion.
Yeah, and it does. It takes a couple days to get back to where it's like, where I don't think about it constantly, and that's kind of how it was like after it would happen. But when it would happen, I felt like I had people to talk to about it, and that it was a legitimate, like I was legitimately emotional. And now it's like, it's just a dream, and it's been more than 9 months, so
Right.
it's almost like I am embarrassed to tell anyone because it just seems like I'm dragging it out or something.
Sure, so you feel like it's not okay to talk about this emotion because it's not connected to
A real event.
even though it is.
Yeah, but not really.
Sure, I understand. It's a real past event, but
Yeah.
because it's not a current event, you feel like it's not okay to
Right.
talk about that.
Like it's just, I'm embarrassed to talk about it, and so I don't. And then, I feel bad, like this weekend on Saturday, I think, or Sunday, I don't remember. I went to my parents' house, and I was just hanging out. I don't know, I just go there to like lounge around because it's comfortable and whatever, no roommates. So I was just hanging out, and my dad was just asking me questions, and I was really sad, just like really sad, and he has no idea why, because he knows about what happened with everything, but he also knows when it happened. So for him to connect that I must be sad because I had a nightmare again, like, he's not going to, and I'm not going to tell him because he gets really, well, he got really upset when I told him what was going on, and like, oh my gosh, he like called the guy and made some, I don't know what
You
was
sound like
threats,
he
but
was very
he's
protective of you.
yeah,
and
very
wanted to-
protective, and so I don't want to talk to him about it at all because it, like I feel bad for him. I feel bad for my dad.
You
And
feel like you're putting a burden on him by sharing your burden.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
And I don't want him to like think that okay, so then one of the nights that it happened, I was actually at this hotel over here for the Otterbox Christmas party, and that's where the biggest thing happened. Like he locked me in the hotel room, and it was just horrible. And at some point in there, I snuck a phone and ran out into the hallway and called my dad like 3 times, and he didn't answer. And then the guy found me and locked me back in the room, and so I couldn't contact anyone else. And then the next day, well, actually, I don't think I told my mom for a couple days. And so she ended up telling my dad. And then my dad felt really bad that he didn't answer.
Yeah.
And so I don't like bringing it up because I feel bad that he feels bad that I called him out of anyone, like the police.
Right.
I called my dad, and he didn't answer, and he feels, he feels really guilty. He wrote me this letter for Christmas about all the things he, like, apologized for, and it was a really touching letter.
Yeah.
But that was, like, number 1, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
He really felt like he let you down.
and he didn't. Like, he was at a Christmas party, too, so I understand,
Right. So you don't have
No, I'm not
lingering
mad
feelings
at
about
all,
that.
not even one bit. And he, if I called from the guy's phone, so he didn't even know the number that was calling.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad, but I don't like bringing it up because I know he feels so bad about it. Like, he really let me down. So I don't bring it up, but it's just like, it affects me still, and especially now that my best friend's gone, because she was kind of like the one person I would talk to about it if I was going to talk about it, and so she's gone, and you know, don't want to talk to my mom about it because she's had her own stuff. And
Yeah. So, Hannah, I guess I hear kind of a theme of just that you feel like you're carrying this burden, but that you're alone and you don't have anyone that you are okay to share that with, or that it's permissible to share it with. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I kind of feel like I've done my share of sharing about it, you know, back in the winter, and
you
so
should
now
just
I
be
should be
over
over it, and I really don't need to be talking about it still. I feel like people kind of would be annoyed.
I wonder whose voice that is that tells you that you should be over it. I mean,
Yeah.
Where do you feel like that has a source?
Well, like always when I was little, my mom, like, I really love her and we are very close, but she's not very emotional. And so when there's something wrong anytime, it was kind of like, okay,
Get
well,
over it.
yeah, kind of. She wouldn't say that, but she just wouldn't offer, like, comfort. And so then it was just like, ooh, I probably shouldn't have complained.
It's not okay to share
Yeah.
that you're hurting or that you need to
Yeah. And so then I would tell friends or something, and, you know.
And they didn't necessarily carry that for you?
Some would, but I've had a lot of, like, bad friends that are kind of, I feel like I wasn't, like, expendable to. Like, wasn't really, like, a important friend. And so that's why, like, it really hurt that this friend left. Because it's, like, I really felt like we were super important to each other.
Yeah.
And I could tell her this stuff, and it was okay to talk about. But it's like, I don't really want to keep texting her while she's in New York trying to, you know, do her own thing there. I don't want to keep bringing this up because
It's not okay to
Yeah.
share about your feelings or ask for help?
well, it is okay, but I kind of feel ridiculous still bringing it up, you know? Like, what am I looking for from sharing it with someone? Like, no one's going to take it away. No one's going to make it better because it happened, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, almost kind of like, what's even the point in sharing it? Because
Yeah, and I can see there's some emotion and pain there
Yeah.
for you. I wonder, is that feeling like it's okay to feel that? Is there a sense of hopelessness that you're going to have to carry this forever? I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
Tell me more of that surge of emotion. What was that?
I don't think I'll have to feel it forever, but it's like, I don't want to feel lonely
Yeah, sure.
about it.
Yeah, still alone and carrying it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Please don't be embarrassed. I mean, you're dealing with a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for, no, again, please. I'm used to having people cry. That's any comfort. I make people
Get
cry.
out of the camera here. Yeah, it's just.
Even now, I think you feel uncomfortable showing that emotion.
I don't like it.
That seems significant. It's not safe.
No.
Tell me if I'm starting to push too far.
No,
I know we're
it's
just,
okay. I just don't want that on camera. Yeah, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Well, it's, it was a wrong that was done to you, and it's a trauma. And traumas have to really be processed. They don't just kind of go away.
Yeah.
And so I really admire your courage to be willing to talk about it and not just wall that piece off and pretend like it didn't happen. there really is hope. I mean, there's healing
Yeah.
that's out there. And it's okay to feel it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just hard.
And when you say it's hard, is that because there's a sense of there's disapproval or there's punishment if you feel, if you express it, if you let it out?
It just feels like I'm not in control. Like that.
So to not be in control of your emotions is it scary? Or because what do you fear would happen?
I don't really know what I think would happen. I just don't like not feeling like 100% in control of everything. I mean, even that relationship, like, I had zero control over anything. I mean, I couldn't even use a phone.
Yeah.
And now it's like, anytime I feel like I'm not,
Sure.
100% in control, like just tearing up is like, oh my God, stop. Like, get it together.
From some of my experience of working with other people who've had trauma is that your mind doesn't always make logical connections. So it's kind of like, I feel out of control. When was another time I felt that? Oh my gosh, that was a horrible time and terrible things happened. And so it's kind of like all this emotion gets shot into the present moment.
Yeah.
I feel out of control, something terrible is going to happen. And so that's kind of where this wave of emotion can come from, even with a small thing, is your mind has still got this unfinished business.
I'm like shaky.
Yeah, that's fearful. Yeah, conjures up all again, your mind says this isn't logical, it shouldn't be happening, but emotionally, it's suddenly you're connected to the battery, the live wire is flowing. And so, right now, some things that are helpful when those things come up is just to, it sounds silly, but just to breathe. Just a couple of deep breaths and even just reminding yourself, it's okay, I'm safe, and nothing bad is going to happen. And it sounds obvious, but just to kind of let the front part of the brain start talking to the emotional part. Just, okay, I'm not there, I'm okay. So maybe, that's small things, but can kind of help calm it, in the middle of that.
I did not expect it to feel that way. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, and a piece of the dreams, too, is, again, it's the connection happening. So something else in your life, I feel out of control in school. I've got these classes, I don't know what to expect, I feel out of control. That feeling will do the same thing in your dreams, kind of like your subconscious is going, man, I feel out of control. Oh, back to the source. So, as has been said, that those things are just invitations to go, okay, there's still work to be done here. And you're doing it. Yeah. And there's a way forward. Just patient with yourself.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. And I think your heart desire there to include others into the circle is the right thing. And I heard earlier just the conflicting desires of, I want it, but I'm afraid of it. Because what if this person disappoints me like other people have,
Yeah, it's hard to just open up.
Yeah.
Let anyone, in.
Yeah, some strangers in counseling class that you guys tell your stuff to.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So, it feels like maybe a natural place to stop there. Thank you for the courage to share that.
Thank you. Sorry.
Don't be
It's
sorry.
emotional.
No, that's okay. It really is okay.